Hey everybody, this is Raul with Bass Musician Magazine, and today we have the great honor and pleasure of being here with someone who requires no introduction. If you don't recognize the man next to me, you are watching the wrong video. Of course, this is Victor Wooten. Victor, thank you so much for taking time from your busy schedule.
Hey, you're welcome.
To meet with us here. It's been a while since we've chatted, way back from a NAMM show, and we were talking about the artist and all the stuff that was coming up. Yeah. But you've been so massively busy lately that we wanted to talk. We're on location in Portland, Oregon at Revolution Hall.
Sure.
So you're here with Victor Wooten Trio doing the tour.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this, because I know this is going to tie in with Tripnotics, which is the new release.
Yeah, it just came out September 6th with Dennis Chambers on drums, Bob Franceschini on sax. And that's what we're playing. That's what we're touring. The record's out. Now we're just trying to make sure we know all the songs.
Nice.
At least most of the songs to play live. But we're having a blast. Here in Portland, Oregon today. In a new place for us, Revolution Hall. I haven't played here before.
This is a great venue.
Well, it sure seems that way. I think it's just going to get greater, once people get in here tonight. And it's going to be fun. We're having a good time.
Gotcha. Now, on the CD, there is, and I make the distinction, there is voice, but we're not vocals.
Not really lyrics.
It is coming from Michael.
There's a few people on there. Michael Winslow,
yes,
who is calling himself a voice-strumentalist instead of an instrumentalist, using his voice. It started with, there was one song where I was live. I had some James Brown triggers and samples. And I wanted something a little bit different because we've heard James Brown. We love James Brown. And Michael Winslow called us one day, or his management called us, said, hey, you're playing this festival in Houston. I'm going to be there. I'd love to sit in with you.
Nice.
Cool, let's do it. And he just jammed with us, and he's so clever and so musical and funny, of course. But the idea hit me, man, let's put him on here. So on one of the songs we do, it's called Funky D, and his voice is all over it, and he's just great. Wow. But he also starts the record with some voices and some sound effects. It sounds like you're taking off on a trip on an airplane, and you hear all these sounds. It's 100% him, nothing else. But if you wait long enough, you can find a hidden track at the very end of the record where he closes out the record. Very cool. He has a good presence. But other vocals too. I found this woman on Facebook named Vari Joshri from India. Vari Joshri Venugopal. I never even met her in person yet, but I heard her singing on Facebook, and it blew me away. She was singing a jazz thing. She was singing along with John Coltrane's solo to Giant Steps, but in a way that was so amazing. We contacted each other, and she's on 2 or 3 parts of the record.
Wow. And in addition to that, your kids are on there too, aren't they?
Yeah. There's a song before the last song. There's an intro that's called Final Approach. And it talks about, it's taken from a TED Talk that I did where I was asking people, well, first I was talking about how we make bombs, countries make bombs to threaten each other, scare each other and all of that. And I asked the question, is anyone working on a bomb to make people love each other? Yeah. Like a Cupid Bomb, And so you hear my kids talking about, rather than me just saying, you hear my kids' voices coming in and asking these questions and talking about this Cupid Bomb that we think we already have. Every country has their own version. And, you just have to listen to the record to figure out what that is. But, so you get my kids. They've been on every record since they've been alive. They're always on my records somewhere.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah. And the message is very timely, because I remember back at the last time we spoke, I called you a guru. And with you bringing a message of peace and knowledge and all that, the title stands more than ever.
Yeah, well, it's always timely, unfortunately. But here's the thing to remember. Like we just had a tragedy happen either last night or this morning, whenever it was, in Vegas. We have to remember that in that case, that was only one person. The majority were kind people. Yeah. So the world is not bad. People are. There's always going to be some bad people. Sure. But things like that, all these tragedies, they stand out because they're not normal. Not because it is the norm. right? When you ride into a new town and somebody cuts you off on the street, yeah, we curse the whole city, but those few people that cut you off stood out because the thousands of others did it right. Yeah. See, we're so used to things being right that we're numb to it. It's the things that go wrong that wake us up. And we think that's normal, but it's not. Gotcha. That's why it stands out, because most people are good. We're going to have a concert tonight. Things are going to go great. Everyone's going to listen. No one's going to be looking at the color of the skin or thinking about who you voted for or how much money you make. We're just going to be united in music. It's the time where everyone agrees.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But no press will be here. Right? You guys are here, which is wonderful.
Well, and we're here because music is the commonality.
There we go.
That has no borders or frontiers.
Absolutely. You don't have to understand anything about it to get it.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Very cool. Very cool. And of course, we've got the review for the CD coming up. People, they're going to have to get out, listen to it, because it is track by track. It takes you on a journey. That's from takeoff to landing. It is something you definitely need to experience.
It takes you on a trip. And I would urge people to get out and buy a record. Not only mine, but musicians. You know, we are, especially us older musicians, we're used to making records. And now the norm for the people coming up is that we don't buy them. You know, I heard it said once that, you know, for our age, we were used to buying our music and getting television free.
Wow.
But now it's totally reversed.
Yeah,
we're happy to pay. We're happy to pay for TV, but we want our music free. So for people like us that make our living making music, we have to find other ways to do it if people don't support it.
Gotcha.
So I would urge you to get out there and purchase records. They're not that expensive, right? You have something physical you can hold in your hand. You can read the credits. We're still making vinyl, things like that, you know. I love the what do they call, streaming sites and things. They're very, very cool, but it's hard for an artist to put food on the table from that. Streaming. But when you purchase a record, that's a direct a result that we feel. And so I'm going to urge people to go out there and purchase music.
Absolutely. We could not agree more. Now, your voice, and I refer to the instrument and the gear that you're using. I know Federa's been, I've seen the Federas in your hand all along, but tell us a little bit about what's bringing your voice to this tour and to the CD.
Yeah, I have a lot of new things. Of course, I'm using my trusty Federas since I've been using since 1983. But I also have my Hartke speakers, right? Hartke just came out with a new line of speakers, and I have both on stage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm using my Hartke high drive speaker cabinets and my LH1000 heads. There's a new technology that I have in one of my Federa basses made by a guy named Lee Young, and it's called Fret Tracks. Fret Tracks, FRET-TRAX. And what it does is that it allows your bass to send MIDI information. So now I have a regular cable coming out of my bass to play the bass sounds, but I also have a MIDI cable coming out into a keyboard module, and all of a sudden I can play any keyboard sound, hook up a sustain pedal, modulation wheel, all this cool stuff. So there's quite a bit of keyboard sounds on our records. Not real blatant, but if you listen closely, you'll hear some organ on a song. It's played on the bass.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, and when you hear us live, you'll hear them because I'm doing them live. So it's really, really fun. Fret Tracks. Brand new technology, and I'm very happy to be one of the first out using it.
I don't think it could be in better hands.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and I've got a ton of pedals. You know, we're just having fun on this trip.
Absolutely cool. Very cool. And looking forward, I know, where's the best place? Because you're in Portland now, and people won't see this until after you've left Portland, but so they might be able to see where you're going to be in a town near them. Sure.
Well, I still have a website. And I also have a band page on Facebook.
Okay.
But if you go to victorwooten.com, right, my website, you can look at the schedule page and you'll see where I'm going to be. And in a lot of cases, you'll know where I'm going to be before I know.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you just had that website revamped, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a brand new website by a new guy, and it has a new look. A lot of fun.
Very cool. Very
Check
cool.
it out.
And preview of coming attractions, because I've been listening to the rumbles and the scuttlebutt. There's something big coming up next year, isn't there? You've got a big project, and it's not like you're not always busy because you're teaching at Berkeley, you're touring, you're recording, but I know something really cool is coming for next year.
Well, I think, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I have a book called The Music Lesson. And next year will be the 10-year anniversary of that book. I am hoping to have the sequel to that book available sometime next year. That's the plan, but I still have to finish writing it. You know, it's already October. I have some writing to do, but I had a lot to get done first. Had to get this record done, had to finish the year of camps that we doing. We just finished our 18th year of camps. Wow. Had to get that done, make sure that the new schedule is up online. You know, get the tour going. I have some concerto performances that I'm doing, but now the tour is happening. I'm able to settle down, and I will start writing. I got to get this book finished, and hopefully next year.
I am just always in awe when I start looking at all the things that, Victor, you're doing, because it's like, okay, where do you find time? You must not ever sleep.
Well, you know, I mean, you know, here's the thing. Everybody's busy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just lucky to be busy doing the things that I love. You know, it took sacrifice as a kid to get to this place, but I'm lucky now that I'm playing music, teaching, sharing, writing books. This is things that I love to do, you know. So what I do, I get a lot of credit for it, but in a sense, it's the people that are doing the jobs that they don't really love, but they're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Because society needs it. Right? We need people to make screws, or we need people to clean the sewers.
Totally.
Right? That's not a celebrated job, but life would end if we didn't have these people.
Gotcha.
Right? So those are the people that really get my applause and my respect. Me, I'm just playing music. Gotcha. You know? I mean, there's something to that. I love making people happy, and of course I love to do that. But for me, my job is no more important, and I don't feel that I'm any busier than anyone else. Wow. People work every day. Right? I'm just maybe in a different city every day doing what I love to do.
Gotcha.
And how many people have jobs where 100% of the people show up to support you? Not 90%, 100%. They're not there unless they love you. Right? So we get hundreds or thousands of cheerleaders every night. Right? It's not like sports where half the people are against you. Everybody comes to join you.
Absolutely.
Well, how lucky am I? Right?
Well, you're doing a tremendous job, and of course in the bass community we feel a lot of love for what you're doing in your music. And I can't tell you, even today there was somebody, I did a share on Facebook, somebody did a version of your Amazing Grace.
I like to see that.
And they said, I'm trying to play Victor's Amazing Grace. So you have influenced so many people that if either they aspire to have a little bit of the magic that you have, or they're sharing in the commonality of music as a universal language. And I think it was somebody from like India or somewhere else in the world, but the entire world is captured with this. And if we could share this commonality we have in music with perhaps the people that are in charge,
of course,
we could knock down the frontiers and get together and get along a whole lot better.
Yeah, we can do it. The main thing I believe is that us musicians, we need to support each other.
Absolutely.
And make sure that musicians, that we get to keep doing what we're doing. Because it's hard for us musicians to be on TV. We're not selling records, things like that. So the things that make the world, for lack of a better phrase, I'm just going to say it this way, may not be the best words, but the things that make the world worse or people act worse are in the mainstream. Gotcha. Right? If you have a bad attitude, you'll get a TV show. They give you a reality show if you're bad enough. Right? There's so many things, like, you look at the news, they don't report the good stuff, they report the bad stuff.
Totally.
That's what's on the headlines, that's what's in the papers. Again, the fact that, this concert's going to go smooth tonight, you're going to have hundreds of wonderful people, it's not going to be in the press. But if one guy shows up acting up, the news will hurry down here. Yeah. That's what we support, right? So as musicians, as powerful as music is, we need to support each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to make sure that we make it possible for us to keep doing what we're doing, because we are making the world better with our music.
Totally.
We are.
Well, Victor, I know you've got to. We got Victor after sound check. He's got to get ready to do the show. We appreciate so much you taking time to share with us what's going on.
Thanks for being here.
We will spread the word as much as we can, and people, make sure you catch Victor at a town near you. Yeah. Go to his website, again, victorwooten.com.
That's it, victorwooten.com. New record, Tripnotics.
Totally.
With Dennis Chambers, Bob Franceschini. Check it out. Even if you can't afford it, stream it. Just hear it. But if you can't afford it, purchase a record.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you, track 2, because track 1 is kind of the intro, but within track 2, 15 seconds will knock you on your ass. There's just no, I'm like going 15 seconds in, and that was it.
Yes,
so again, thanks again, people. You've seen the amazing Victor Wooten coming to you live from Bass Musician Magazine.
Thank you.